Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you this beautiful and easy to stitch V-stitch cardigan. It's a one row repeat and it works up really fast. We are going to start off by making a chain. For my chain length, I first measured my shoulder to shoulder measurements and added 5 inches to what I had got. So I had my shoulder to shoulder measurements are 19 inches. I added 5 inches. So my chain is going to be 24 inches. So as you're making your chain, you must keep in mind that our V-stitch works best with multiples of 3 plus 4 stitches. So endeavor that your chain length comprises of multiples of 3 plus 4 more chains. After measuring our chain, we are now going to start off by making single crochets in every stitch on our chain. You just insert the hook in the chain, pull the thread through, yarn over and pull through. You're going to keep doing this until you come to the end of your chain. So when you reach the end of your row, you will chain 1, turn over the work and insert a single crochet in every stitch until the end. You will continue doing this until you reach the desired band size. To start off on the body of our cardigan, we shall chain 4 and turn our work. The chain 4 represents chain 3 for double crochet plus a chain. So we shall work a double crochet in that very stitch and that will make our first V. We shall skip 2 and work in the third stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1 and make another double crochet in that same stitch. This will make our second V. We shall again skip 2 and work in the third stitch, make a double crochet, chain 1 and make another double crochet in the same stitch, making another V. So we shall continue working like this until we reach the end of our first row. As we approach the end of our row, we shall skip 2 and work in the last stitch. Make a double crochet, chain 1 and work another double crochet in the very same stitch to complete our last V of that row. To work row 2, we shall chain 4 and turn our work. We shall then repeat row 1. We shall again then repeat as we did row 1. But this time it becomes easier as we shall be working in the V spaces. We shall be making V's in the V spaces that we have. So you shall keep making V stitches in the top stitch of the V, or V stitches. At the end of the row, we shall work our last V in the very last V stitch. For our third row, we shall chain 4 and turn our work, and then we shall continue working V stitches, repeating row 2 until you reach your desired length of your cardigan. While making your V-stitch, do not forget to chain 1 after your first double crochet, because if you forget to chain 1 after your first double crochet, you'll only have 2 double crochets in one stitch but not a V-stitch. After you get the desired length of your back panel, you'll fasten off your yarn and cut off the excess yarn. So my back panel in total measured to 20 inches. That is with the band included. And checking the width of my cardigan, it measures 24 inches like we had counted from the beginning. So now it's time to work on the front panels. So we shall leave a space of 6 inches in the middle of the back panel to accommodate the neck. So when you get your 24 inches and subtract 6, you get 18, and when you divide 18 by 2, you get 9. So your front panels will be 9 inches each. You will start off as we did the back panel with a band of single crochets. So I finished my front panels off camera, and now I'm placing them onto the back panel from the sides, leaving the middle space of the neck. Now we are going to start sewing our front panels onto our back panels. As I'm sewing the front panels onto the back panel, I am incorporating the excess yarn that I had cut off so that it does not loosen as time goes on. But if that excess yarn is long enough to sew your panels, you can use that instead of using different thread. In case you don't have a yarn needle, you can use a crochet hook and slip stitch through every stitch to sew your two parts together. So when you reach the end, you fasten off and cut off the excess yarn. shall now work on the other second panel. With this stitch, you should not worry about the wrong side or right side of your work because all sides are identical. After you finish stitching the sides together, this is how it will look when you turn it on the right side. Now it's time to measure the size of our armhole. When I measured my arm, it measured 18 inches. That is when the cardigan is not tight on me and not very loose. So when you get 18 inches and divide by 2, it is 9. So I measured 9 inches from the shoulder downwards on both sides of the panels, the front and the back panel, and I marked them. You can mark them using yarn markers, but in case you don't have, you can improvise like I did with different colored yarn. And of course we shall do this on either side of our cardigan. So for my sleeves, I made a chain of 70 plus 3. Remember, our V-stitch works in multiples of 3 plus 4. So I chained a total of 73 chains. So I'll be working my sleeve along the length and work towards the width of my arm, which is 18 inches. So we shall begin our first V-stitch by skipping 3 and working in the 4th chain after the hook to make our first V. From there we shall keep skipping 2 and working a V-stitch in the 3rd chain. Remember, to make a V-stitch, you have to work a double crochet, a chain 1, and another double crochet in the same stitch. At the end of our first row, we shall skip 2 and work in that very last stitch to make your last V stitch. we shall chain 4 and turn our work to work on our second row of V-stitches. And remember, this time we shall be inserting our V-stitches in the V spaces, the chain 1 spaces of the V. That's where we shall be inserting our V-stitches. You make a double crochet, you chain 1 and insert another double crochet in the very same stitch, and you've made a V-stitch. So we shall keep doing this until the end of our row. After working on our very last V stitch of that row, we shall chain 4, turn our work, and repeat this row again until we reach the desired height of our sleeve. But in this case, this will be identical to the armhole width, which is 18 inches. After reaching your acquired width length, you fasten and cut off the excess yarn. So this is how our sleeve is going to look like. We are now going to add our sleeve to our cardigan. We shall get the width of our sleeve and attach it to the measured part of the armhole. I attached my sleeve onto my cardigan so that when I'm sewing it, it does not let loose. You can use a stitch marker for this part, but in case you don't have, you can improvise like I did with different colored thread. We are now going to sew from the first point of my armhole through the middle part until we reach the end of the armhole. After we finish with our armhole, now it's time to fold our cardigan and stitch the sleeve all the way down to the band of our cardigan. Sorry, my workspace is limited, so it's kind of tricky to show the whole cardigan at the same time. I fasten the armpit so that when I'm stitching the sleeve, it does not shift and alter the cardigan. After you've secured the armpit, it is okay to remove the stitch marker. Make sure you stitch all the way to the end. So we are going to do this for both sleeves. Now it's time for us to work on the wristbands. For our wrist, we're going to make a slip knot and attach our yarn onto the sleeve from the part where we joined the sleeve. After we attach our yarn, we are going to chain 1 and work a single crochet in every space available all around the sleeve. As you come to the end of our row, we shall slip stitch in that first single crochet, chain 1, and work another round of single crochets in every stitch. When you come to the end of that row, do not forget to slip stitch into that last single crochet, chain 1, and repeat. So we are going to do this until the desired band size. So this is how our sleeves are looking after being attached and sewn and with the bands. We are now going to work on the ribbing of the middle part of the cardigan. You're going to attach your yarn from the band of the cardigan and chain 3. Then we shall work a double crochet in every available space, but be careful not to overspace your double crochets. After you finish your first row of double crochet, we are going to chain 3 and turn our work. So now this is when we are going to start doing the front post and back post double crochets. To work a front post double crochet, you will insert the hook behind that double crochet and yarn over and make a double crochet. For the back post, you pass the crochet hook in front of the double crochet, pulling it backwards, yarning over and making a double crochet. I really don't know how to explain this in detail, but you can slow down the video and see what I'm doing. So I'm now done with my first row of front post and back post double crochet. We are going to start on our second row, but this time you just put a back post double crochet where you put the back post double crochet, and you're going to put a front post double crochet where you had put the front post double crochet. So this is my finished product. I made only 3 rows of front post and back post double crochet, but you can make as many rows as you want depending on how wide you'd like your ribbing to be. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Please subscribe and click the notification bell to get alerts whenever I post new videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.